Home yet? That was pretty awesome. I wasn't sure if I was going to cry or not. I think I will. Thank you. My name's Paul, and don't stand in front of the speakers. I got you. No feedback here. What a beautiful day. We're in the house of the Zion Tabernacle Baptist Church, and I want you to give it up for its pastor, my friend Reverend Alvin Brass. Come on in here. He is going to lead us off today. We're going to have several speakers today for very short, 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes each. So give it up, Pastor Brass.
Why don't we begin by just giving ourselves an applause? Why don't you applaud yourself for what you've done this morning? This is a historic moment, and I tell you what, I don't know if I've ever seen a picture so great. When I made it over that hill and was able to look back, it's something about looking back. But we couldn't stay there for long. I want to thank you today to all of the leaders of our community and all who are here today who have come at the request of our children. Now, many of you may not understand what's going on with her, but don't worry about that. Are y'all with me? For she is praising her God for answered prayer. And every once in a while, we ought to do a holy dance when God comes through and just bless us and gives us the desires of our heart. You know, as I stand before you today, Paul has coached me very well. He said I have 2 minutes.
You get all you want.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. One of the things that I really did some counseling with me this morning to help me to understand the nature of this event and the history around it. And one of the things he told me back several years ago, a young lady by the name of Miss Smith, I don't know if she's present today, requested some help while she was teaching in an predominantly African-American school. And as a result of that, there have been several iterations of people who've come together to help. And that request was the initiation of what we're going through today. And then secondly, I heard that there were some 5th graders who wrote down on a piece of paper and drew a bridge and said, I want to share with you what we need from the community. It was a 5th grade class, and they showed at the top of the bridge that there was a crack. And that crack was from the 5th grade to the 6th grade. And said, if we could just make it over the bridge, we would be on the other side and destined for home. And so as a result of it today, we stand in this room holding up the bridge. But I was reminded in a biblical story about Nehemiah, who was informed about his homeland had been destroyed. His city was exposed, and there was some problems going on. And what he said was he asked for permission to go back and repair the walls so that there could be protection. I believe all of us in this room today heard the cry of the 5th grade and have come today to help to rebuild and hold up this bridge. We're not rebuilding a bridge, a wall. We're holding up a bridge. But my prayer is that one day that we would do like those people during that time, would take on our tool in one hand and our sword in another hand. Not only will we hold up the bridge or repair the bridge, we will build a new bridge where our children can go over. I want you to know today you are standing in a facility that was dedicated a few weeks ago to God, a few days ago. But today I want you to know from Zion Tabernacle Baptist Church and Pastor Brass, we dedicate this building to you today, to all children in our community. We pray that this facility and on the other side of the walls where there are classrooms, that we would be able to reach those and be able to hold a study hall night, and we would also cause it to spread across the community. I thank God for you today, and I thank God for the 5th grade who was strong enough to advise us the steps we should make. Amen? How many of you in this room are committed now to support? Amen. Praise God. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Brass. What a beautiful day. We got several, like I said, speakers coming up. Our mayor Randy Roach, whose leadership is vital in so many things, is going to share with us a little bit about his vision for our city and how Homework Night and the Walk for Education is a part of that.
Thank you, Paul. Well, good morning. I got just a couple of minutes, so I'm going to make it brief, but some things I got to really tell you. First of all, on behalf of your city, I got to tell you how proud we are of you. Okay, give yourselves another round of applause. This is something that was a dream of a lot of people, but mainly it was a dream of a lot of young people, and your dreams are coming true, and we appreciate your coming to us, and you're encouraging us older folks to get this walk started and get this walk done. And it's just a marvelous thing to see all these folks coming together this morning and making that walk. So I just can't tell you how proud we are of you. And the other thing that I want to tell some folks, sometimes people say, well, you know, are we going to really make a difference? And sometimes we have a tendency to define difference or determine if we're making a difference by numbers, okay? We look at numbers. Well, I'm going to ask you to look at this number. It's number 1, okay? The number 1. And I'm going to suggest to you something. If all of the energy and effort that we put forth in this walk, in Homework Night, and all the other things that we're going to continue to do, if all that effort just changes one life, it's worth it. It's worth it, okay? It's worth it. We're not talking about animals. We're talking about human beings, okay? We're talking about children. And if all of this that we do today can change the life of one child in our community, it is worth the effort and more. So I want to encourage you. I want to tell you how proud we are of you. And I'm not going to go into the history. Pastor Brass, you know some of the history. I'm going to let Mr. King talk about a little bit of the history if he chooses to do that. But it's a wonderful story as to how this whole idea got started. But it started from the young people. It started from students. It started from children who were struggling with some things and wanted to do some things and needed some help and needed some encouragement and wouldn't take no for an answer. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful way to see it all come together. And talking about Mr. King, I talked Willie over as we were coming over the bridge. I said, Willie, I said, your cousin would be real proud of you today. Martin Luther King Day. And I know that we're celebrating this day as well, and I can't think of a better thing to do on Martin Luther King Day than to take a walk for education for the children of our city. And I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I hope y'all were expecting a treat today, because we're going to receive one right now as Willie King Jr. is going to come up and give a speech that he's been preparing for a while for us. Y'all give it up for him.
I want to introduce myself to all of you. Today, I am Martin Luther King Jr. There is even a special day to remember my life and my dreams. People get to share dreams on that day, and many people get the day off, like schools and government workers. You could add Reverend Dr. Martin Luther to the front of my name because I became well educated even when people of my color were having problems getting a good education. My parents opened doors for me, and I opened doors for other people getting a good education. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia on January 15, 1929, and I graduated from high school when I was only 15. I went to attend Morehouse College and graduated from there in 1955. I got my doctorate degree from Boston University. I will share a short part of one of my dream speeches from the past with you. I have a dream today that one day, little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and little white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. Did you know I was one of the first bridge builders and started by reading to other classes? I also read to elderly people in nursing homes. We bring value to the lives of others. I realized that it was not my fault, but it was my responsibility to help everyone that I can. We are really living the King dream today, and I believe that Dr. Martin Luther King will be so proud of each and every one of us.
Right on, Willie. You want to see leadership in action? Watch Willie lead his son. That's awesome. We've got a lot of leaders with us today. You're here because you're a leader, and one of the ones we want to give the microphone to for a minute is the leader of our public school system here in Calcasieu Parish, Wayne Savoy. He was in the front today. He got here before me, so I was proud of that. He said he would too. And so please come up, Mr. Savoy, and tell us a little bit about your heart today.
Hello, how are you doing? You know, there's another greeting that's shared in another part of the world. And when two people meet each other, they say, "How are the children?" And so they realize how important children are to a community, and especially to a region where they live. We have your children 380 minutes a day, and we need everyone in here to reach out and touch a child and talk to them about the importance of dedicating themselves to learning. And I pledge to you, if your children, with your support, come to school and dedicate themselves to learning, they will go as far as possible, because no door is going to be closed to them. And I waited a long time to see what we did today. I've been in education over 40 years, and I think this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Yeah. It was a march for everybody's children, and I want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Y'all give it up. This is a special day, and we're going to hear from some special young people. I hope they're ready. I know they are ready is what I mean to say. And so I'm not sure who's first in the group of Trey. Are you leading off, baby? Y'all give it up for Trey Darian Thompson. This man is a leader. I'm proud to be your friend, Trey.
Good morning, everybody. I want to thank all y'all for coming out and supporting us, because, like I was telling Mr. King this morning, we've been working on this for a long time, and it went exactly how I planned. My name is Trey Thompson. I'm a student at LaGrange High School. I am in the 10th grade, and I am a member of the leadership program. I was part of the initial plan to create homework night, and I continue to work diligently to carry out what I believe to be necessary, part of what Christians should do to create foundation, where all other children can get some hope to succeed in life. I face major challenges every day with my health, and I have to keep my medicine with me at all times. I take 4 shots every day, and I still keep my dreams as my major focus. Yeah, right. I have wonderful parents. They are not together, however, they continue to be wonderful and supporting in every way. I am blessed because I believe in myself, and I live a life that is not short on love. So why am I here? Life offers each one of us the opportunity to serve and share. I could complain and worry about my personal challenges, or I could look beyond my own problems and help someone else. What would Dr. King do if he was in my shoes? He cannot. So what would you do if you were in my shoes? All of us can help, and all of us can serve. Are you going to join us on Monday night to help? Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to have to speak later. I'm afraid I'm going to be in trouble here. Now, Michael is next. Where's Michael at? Right on. Give it up, baby.
Thank you very much. Wow. Good morning, by the way. Thank you all for coming here. It's a fantastic turnout. It's good to see that so many people came to support this cause. It's fantastic. I'm Michael Turner. I'm a student at AMI Kids, which is kind of a reform school for troubled students. One of the statements that I've made a lot recently is that a lot of kids don't realize, or some don't care, that their performance in school is somewhat lacking. Sorry. That is what we want to address and also build quality, lasting relationships in the process. Is the fact that all Christian organizations have some kind of facility that we can use to kind of help Homework Night happen, you know, somewhere where we can hold these events. And we have no doubt through a little Christian support, help, that we can help them kind of get through the problems that youth face every day, you know, drugs, street life, stuff like that. Homework Night is not a cure-all for every individual. However, they can address most of the issues we face. Having a purpose in my life, having this in my life, has truly inspired me to think about the value I bring to everyone I meet. Changing lives is what we want to accomplish, and we're asking you to look in your hearts and participate. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Andrew, as he makes his way up, I just want to tell you that having been able to spend a little bit of time with these kids over the past year, it's just been such a blessing to me.
All right, I just want to start off by saying shout out to Mr. King. I know that we couldn't do all of this without him, so why don't y'all give him a round of applause right quick. And at the same time, we couldn't do it without each individual in this room. So why don't y'all give yourself a round of applause. And I want y'all all to know that in your hearts, y'all know that y'all are making a difference in one of these child's life as we get this thing put on the road.
Right on. Jamero, you make your way over here. Affectionately known as Preacher, and in a minute, you'll see why.
Thanks for that lovely comment.
Hey, that's with all the love, baby.
Thank you. Good morning. Like Trey, I want to first start off by introducing myself. I am Jamero Ryan. I'm also known as Preacher Man. Mr. King gave me that nickname in our leadership program. But our movement is not about me. It is about all of us together. We are history makers on the move. Nothing can be more appropriate than to honor Dr. King with his walk for education on this historic day in this historic way. We rise up all over as a total community to face challenges of today's youth. We applaud your support and your participation as we begin a new chapter in our communities in Southwest Louisiana. Go ahead and commit, and we will make sure that all of your efforts are not violent. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Did those young people prepare or what? That was fantastic. I'm so proud. Leadership takes lots of forms, and some people lead leaders. And Father Henry Mancuso leads leaders. And that's why when he speaks, people listen. There's moral authority in his voice because his life matches his message. And that's why one of the reasons I love Henry Mancuso.
Thank you, Paul. I think we all know the expression, winners never quit and quitters never win. How did we get here? One step at a time. And that's what's going to bring us forward, one day at a time. Some of us got here first. Some of us got here toward the end. Some of us have hurting shins, and some of us had to stop to go to the bathroom along the way. But we all got here. What's the expression? Team, together, everyone achieves more. Together, everyone achieves more. And today we have representatives of church, elected leaders, We have members of the community. We have school representatives. We've got everybody here that we need to succeed. Every part of our community is represented. But we have to keep telling one another, winners never quit, and quitters never win. Will we quit? No. Today is the first step of many more to come. Thank you very much.
Right on. Right on. This week I had the privilege of going into LaGrange High School and meeting with Team Pride, and Valika Hurst is going to make her way up here. And she and the other leaders, the adult leaders of Team Pride, Willie and Wanda and others, have just led those children. And one of the things that I've heard spoken over and over about Valika is how she speaks the truth to kids, and they're different after that.
I just want everybody just to give your self. I mean, I know it cannot be said enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and please give yourself a hand for making this walk this morning. I prepared a speech, and I'm gonna try to stick to it as close as possible. Because when I do talk about the kids, that's where my passion is. That's where, you know, no matter if it's a 5th grader or if it's a 12th grader, you know, that's where my passion lies at. So, here we go. What does homework night look like? This is a question that has been asked by many of us over the past couple of weeks. When we were trying to figure out how to get the idea of kids and making a reality, we had to focus on where did it come from. A group of 5th graders at T.H. Watkins said the America that they live in does not provide an opportunity of hope outside of a jail cell. When you think of homework night, the first thing that comes to mind is you across the table from a student. Yes, that's actually the result we would like to have. However, that's not just the student you're looking at. It is about building a relationship with that student so that they know we care about their future. There is no greater reward than seeing a student succeed in life. As I listened to a music producer on Saturday night talk about what is reality and what is real reality. The reality of homework night is helping a student, but the true reality is about building a support system for a student to lean on. It's not just about as they go off through life, but it's every day. As adults, we still need that support system to lean on constantly. Mr. King has had many students that he has touched lives in powerful ways, that they come back to say, thank you for saving my life. Homework night is openly about saving a child's life by refocusing their attention on education and the commitment that we are making to help them succeed. So there are no excuses of the resources were not available to me. When homework night was thought of, it was to reach some areas in the students' lives that they may not understand in school. Many say they can ask the student, they can ask their teacher, but when a teacher is spending more time correcting that class, when you have about 24 to 28 students in a class, it's kind of hard to do one-on-one service. So that's what we are here for, to give that child that one-on-one service that they desire to have. Another goal that we have is to address the social issues. Homework night is not just about dealing with schoolwork. It's about building a relationship to help the student deal with the issues they face outside of school. You really want to know the truth? Ask a child. It's amazing what you find out, especially if they trust you. This is our time to reassemble the village. As the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. We understand that no one can do anything alone, so we're asking for your help to build the village back together. These are our children, they are our future, and we're asking for your help and your commitment. Thank you.
Leadership takes all kinds of forms. And when the message matches the person, it just resonates. And so that happens when people like Valika take the stand and say, this is what it's going to look like when homework may may just have one volunteer. It might just be Valika, but I don't think that's going to be the case. And the reason I think that that's not going to be the case is because people are examining the landscape and saying something should be different. And one of those people we're going to highlight today is Bobby Dower. He's the opinion page editor for the Lake Charles American Press, and he wrote a series of articles, come on up, Bobby, last July, examining the results of public schools here. And those articles were so well written, and they've actually submitted them for one of their awards. And the students reviewed those as a part of the genesis of this movement. So thank you, Bobby, for your leadership.
Thanks, Paul. I would like to take credit for writing those articles, but I didn't write them. It was done by our staff. But let me say, first of all, I've lived in Lake Charles for 58 years. This has to be one of the greatest days in our city. I believe that in all my heart. I think it's great that this walk happened or occurred on the day that we honored Dr. King. One of the great things that Dr. King did was he prodded, he pushed, he appealed to people's conscience. He saw things and said, we can do better. That's what this day is about here. And I think everyone in this room feels that we can do better. Let me say this too. I'm a sinner. I haven't mentored a child, but I'm going to start. I'm going to start. I'm a little bit amazed, and if I sound like I'm fussing or preaching, will forgive me. I'm a little bit amazed. For example, litter is a tremendous problem in the state of Louisiana. And we have clubs and youth organizations, civic clubs, that will adopt a stretch of road or a stretch of highway, and from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 on a Saturday, they'll go clean that stretch of road. And God bless those people that feel that way and do that. But how much more effect would it have if they spent those 4 hours mentoring a child? There's a good chance that then, with their mentoring, it would be the children that would take it upon themselves to clean that road. This is all about priorities. This is all about what your priority is, and there should not be any higher priority than seeing that our children get a good education. Yes. Yes. This day would not be possible without the likes of Willie King, the 100 black men, the bridge builders. Let me say this, as good a work as they've done, and they've done wonderful work, we need more people. And in that vein of Dr. King pushing and prodding, we need every adult in this room to grab your friends, people that go to church with you, your co-workers, grab them by the lapel and say, get involved. Because we need more mentors. We're going to have a situation, I can see it, where if we're not careful, we're going to have more children, they will have mentors. We need reinforcements. We need more adults to buy into this program. And what that means is all of you have to, you adults, have to get more people involved. And if you don't think it's possible, and when you get down and you think, oh, this is not going the right way, think of this. We're here in a building that's dedicated to God. Jesus started out with 12 disciples, and look what happened. Look what happened. This can happen in this city with the right involvement, but it means that the adults here particularly, you need to prod, you need to push, you need to get your friends involved, and that will help make this happen. Thanks.
Thank you, Bobby. And thank you to the American Press running top of the fold stories about this event, and maybe that's why some of you are here today. My name's Paul Pettifer, and I'm just a regular guy, but I have met an indescribable God. And some of the things that God's allowed me to do is make friends with a dude like Willie King about 10 years ago, because Willie, it's all about fear and heroes and the Last Supper. That's the inside joke I have to tell y'all. So Willie has been such a beautiful friend, and he got me involved in bridge builders. And so it's Oak Park Elementary School, excuse me. And last year, now y'all can tell I'm a bashful guy, right? I'm scared, I'm just so timid, and I hardly make a friend. I made about 40 friends this morning walking in the walk. So I go with Willie in the Bridge Builders program to Oak Park Elementary School. And I don't know if you should do this. Willie goes every day to like 5 schools. You should go with him and live the life of a rock star. When you walk into school that he's been to for a few times, he's got a magnetic personality. He's like the Pied Piper with children. And he backs up what he says. When he says, I'll come back, he comes back. And kids believe him. That's the word for that's legit. Willie's legit. So I go in with Willie and the Bridge Builders to Oak Park Elementary School. And it's all great. I go with Willie a couple times. And now it's my time to fly solo. Y'all hear me? Who's a teacher in here? Got some? Got a few teachers? Now, again, I'm a bank president, right? I got my MBA. This is last year. I'm 41 years old. Lead a church. I do all these things, and I sit in the parking lot in my blue Durango for 10 minutes. And I go, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared of these children because, I don't want to do it badly. I hate doing things badly. I like doing things where I know what I'm doing, and I don't mind improvising. But if it's outside of my comfort zone, I just like, man, I don't want to fail them. And I sat there for 10 minutes and drove away. And I say that because some of you, and some of you on this video screen, some of you didn't make it here today, but you're going to be watching this. You're going to say, like, man, I wish I'd have got up on MLK Day and walked. Some of you are going to go like, I don't know how to be a mentor. I don't know how to do that. Besides, that's Zion Tabernacle into Shattuck Street. I've never even been down there. I'm sure it's great. It is great, by the way. Thank you, pastors. It's a beautiful joint. And you're going to go like, I don't know if I can do that. And I'm just telling you, I was there. And I think that God has been orchestrating the events of my life so that I would see that my life gets richer when I do things that are different sometimes than my normal. Then when I meet people who are different from my normal. I'm going to walk in front of the speaker, it might feedback on me here. When I make friends with somebody like Willie, and he and I hang out together for 10 years, and something happens, and God's orchestrating the things in my life so that I realize that I get richer when I do things that are out of my norm sometimes. And when I invest in children. So my point in all of that is to tell you, those of you who are scared, and think, I don't know how to do this, I don't know what that's going to look like, that you don't have to be scared. What you have to do, though, is put one foot in front of another. And you have to go to homeworknight.com and fill out the form, volunteer here. Thank you to Google Docs, it's right there. And some of you in this room have to come up and sign these little commitment things saying, I want to get involved in this, I want to find out what's next. Because I believe that I'm a Jesus follower, right? You don't have to be. That's cool. This isn't just a Jesus follower movement. But I believe that because there are Jesus followers here and churches here, that the city should be different, right? I'm shamelessly plugging my own thing, so y'all just forgive me for 1 second. The city would be different when there's people here who love God or who are interested in a movement to change children. And it's going to be more united. So one of my passions is to connect the city. North, south, rich, poor, black, white, and not just. This isn't some. This is something so that I get richer in the process. You hear me? You feel me? And Homework Night is a movement to care for children. And when I realized the plight of some in my own community, it moved me. Not just an emotional movement, but one that called action to come next. Action like spending a month with Willie working on this project. And so that's what I'm calling you to. That the city should be different because you care. Yes. Because your city has children who could use your life. All you're responsible to give is what you already have. You're not responsible for what you don't have, only for what you do have. Well, I don't have much. Well, if you have 2 hours, once a week or once a month, If you do, I say rock on with that. So, my friend Willie King is going to bat cleanup here. Now, I held back because I wanted to help him look good. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all give it up for the man of the hour, Willie King.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's an incredible day, but it's a history-making day. You know, one of the things that I learned is if you make a promise, keep it. No matter what it takes, if you make a promise, keep it. All of us know how to raise children because they're here. If we didn't know, they wouldn't be here. But can we really commit? Kip Chahada and I, Kip, come see for a minute, please. Kip Chahada and I had the unique experience in watching more tears in 30 minutes than I've seen in a lifetime. Children begging us to just take them to church. Just take us to church. Just make it better for us. Yeah, am I right? Kip? We had to make that promise. But guess what? We have to keep the promise. So if anybody is in here that have any doubt whether this will work or not, I'm telling you, we're not in control. God is, and God says it's going to work. That's what he's saying. Well, you don't have to doubt whether this thing is going to do it. Let me tell you something. Those walls, right on the other side of these walls over here, we're going to grow what you call some love stuff. But we're going to grow some affection. We're going to grow some friendships. We're going to grow some smiles. And after that, we're going to grow some education. Because unless we teach them to smile and love themselves, education is of no use. Yeah. And they're just being educated fool. Without love, there's nothing. So we must start showing these children that, number one, we care about them. Number two, we are there for them. Number three, we are holding their hand as they cross the dangerous thresholds of life. We are there. This is an incredible day. And, you know, even with the weather, God said, hold up, weather. Started raining once we got to the building, but he held it up, huh? That's the big umbrella. That is the big umbrella. Huh? You guys got to understand there's a bigger umbrella than we carry. And the big umbrella held the water off, seen it somewhere else, did something. And Chahada, we're going to keep our promise, right? We made a commitment. Promises made, promises kept. Listen, you guys make sure that you sign up to become involved. And I know that you have friends who can become involved. You say, well, I don't know how to do math. I don't care. If you just hold their hand, they'll learn by themselves. You know, a lot of things I don't know, but I know how to teach them that confidence and success walks hand in hand. Confidence and success. So I can teach confidence. You can teach math. You can teach English. You can teach something else. But we all can teach something. So we all have value. And I'm telling you, I'm just proud of all of the people that's standing behind us. Wayne, the mayor, everybody's jumped on board, the citizens, the students. We are a team. We must stay a team. We must stay committed. And if we stay committed, we will all succeed. And I'm going to close with this. I was listening at a tape the other day, and some guy, I don't know if he was joking or not, but he said Jesus and the disciples was in a boat. And so Jesus got out of the boat and started walking. So one of the disciples asked him, where are you going? He said, if you really want to make a difference, you need to get out of that boat and start walking on some water. So this is some water. There's some water out here, but start walking on it, and you'll find that you won't sink. You'll walk on water.
Willie, I didn't finish my story. I was scared. Remember, I left Oak Park and I didn't go back. But did I go back?
You went back.
Why did I go back? What happened between then and 2 days? And I got some help, right? I got some help. And Willie gave me some tools and some encouragement. Okay, here, Paul, you're making this too complicated. So for those of you in TV land, this is not too complicated. And we're going to be here together. That's why this is a launch at Zion Tabernacle, the launch of the first homework night site, because we're putting this together and you're in the mix of it. And so your way of communicating with us about what we're going to do next and how this is going to work is by filling out your name. I've got 4 clipboards here, and checking in with homeworknight.com, or get my phone number or Willie's or someone else's, and we're going to tell you what the next steps are and what we're doing to move help and hope into the lives of children in our community. And
next Monday, they can be here next Monday at 5 o'clock.
Next Monday at 5 o'clock is volunteer orientation at this site, homeworknight.com. We love you, thank you, and as my favorite saying is, go Jesus.